All right, on the eve of NBA free agency, the first major linchpin has dropped. Adrian Wojnarowski reporting James Harden, my guard, is opting into his $35.6 million player option, but he is demanding a trade, and all signs are pointing to he has played his final game for my Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not going to say too surprised by this, but it caught me a little off guard. It seemed like there was a lot of push on the Sixers to re-sign Harden, run it back, but new head coach Nick Nurse is stepping in, and I guess the two sides could not come to an agreement on the number. Philly must not have been really close at all, Harden entering into free agency, for him to decide to pick up this number and then facilitate a trade with the Sixers. So I actually really like this move as a whole. It kind of felt like we've seen what we're going to get out of Harden and Embiid once again. And honestly, credit to James Harden. He now has 3 trade demands when he's only won 3 playoff series since 2020. Absolutely hilarious. He's broken the record for most trade requests by any guy, and he is a long way off being that perennial MVP and really the only legitimate threat to the Golden State Warriors during their dynasty out west when he was with the Rockets. Played about 79 games with the Sixers, obviously 2 postseason series, getting bounced in the second round both times. Really just disappointing stuff overall. Sixers letting down again, not able to get over that hump, not making it to a conference finals since they went to the NBA finals all the way back in 2001. But I think this gives a lot of flexibility for the Sixers as a whole. You're going to move Harden, acquire assets, and then go trade for Damian Lillard. Take those assets, get Damian Lillard, flip Tobias Harris for an actual wing defender. He's a very valuable guy sitting on the final year of his contract. Just try and keep Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, keep them locked in together, ship everybody else off, bring in a new crew, and hopefully try and get to an Eastern Conference Finals. Let's not say they haven't had the worst luck ever, but it seems like this team might be a little bit cursed. But who's potentially going to be looking to make a move on Harden? He's going to be 35 years old coming into next season. So he's really, really up against the wall. His father time is catching up to him. Now, he was pretty solid for the Sixers last year, led the league in assists per game, but he's just far, far away from that scorer we know in Houston, that MVP winner. It's just a long way off, and he felt like he was shaking some playoff demons in the second round series against the Boston Celtics. Went into Boston in game 1, a 40-point masterpiece to win, and another 40-point banger to extend their series lead. Save their season, really. They were down 2-1. Actually, they were down 2-1, and they tied it 2-2 with that game in Philly. Another 40-point masterpiece, but then absolutely disappeared in game 6 at home, and then ultimately in game 7 in Boston. So he really wasn't able to shake those demons. It really caught back up to him. He's got a lot of wear and tear on the body. On top of that, James Harden is not taking care of his body whatsoever. He's a big fan of the Canadian ballet, if you know what I'm talking about. He's a nightclub kind of guy. He's got multiple jerseys retired in multiple clubs down in Houston. He knows how to make it rain, folks. So he's really catching on to him at this age. He's really kind of fallen apart from a longevity standpoint, and that was always his knock anyway. He would wear down with all of his high ISO usage rates in Houston, break down in the playoffs, look completely gassed, end up getting injured. It's just been a really tough time for him since he left the Rockets in Brooklyn, in Philly, really never able to get anything done. But apparently the Clippers and the Knicks are both interested in him. I don't know what kind of assets you can get from those two teams. Would the Clippers consider a Paul George 1-for-1 Harden for Paul George? It seems like they want to split up Kawhi and PG. They're not going to keep running this thing back. There was serious talk that they were going to trade Paul George before the draft. That never materialized. So maybe we're going to run with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard out in LA and you send Paul George to Philadelphia. I don't hate it. I'm okay with that. I really think that's a good thing. Paul George can rest for 60 games and then just show up in April. He's been a lot better in the playoffs than he was earlier in his career. He's actually carried the Clippers in a couple of series when he was all by himself. Obviously got hurt again this season, and it ultimately led to the Clippers getting bounced in the first round. But I wouldn't hate it if we could get Paul George for James Harden. Maybe you send over a first round pick. Who knows what the Clippers are looking for, but I think it's a very interesting spot for him. The Knicks, I'm not sure what you could possibly get from the Knicks. They're trying to move on from Julius Randle. Sixers don't need a big man, obviously, unless they're just going to run Randle and Embiid out there. F it. We're going big men like it's the 1960s, and screw it. That's how we're going to play basketball. I doubt that's what they're going to do, but they're looking for an actual scorer to pair with Jalen Brunson. Now, Harden can't be that guy, but he doesn't have to be that leading scorer. If he could be that second guy, get you 25 a night, be a reliable bucket in the regular season, an adult in the room sometimes, in quotation marks, I think he'll be able to help out some of those younger guys. I think that's an interesting thing. I'm just not quite sure what the Sixers would get in return with that package. So first major linchpin of the NBA free agency, Harden out of Philadelphia, will be traded by the Sixers. All signs are pointing to that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Where's Harden going to end up? Would you trade for him if you are a championship contender? Do you think he still gives you enough as a second or third guy? Third guy maybe is the spot for him at this point in his career. I'm not quite sure, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share this video with your friends, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.